Hello, in this video we will be looking at the final market structure on the syllabus, which is an oligopoly market. Here are the learning objectives of this topic. As you can see from the spectrum of market structure shown here, an oligopoly is closer to a monopoly than it is to perfect competition. An oligopoly has two or more firms in the market. This market may even have many firms, but the key characteristic here is that in an oligopoly, only a few firms control a major market share. This implies that where those few firms are concerned, each of them is well aware of who their main competitors are. Each firm takes or they pay close attention to their competitors' business decisions. For example, about what price the competitors are charging or how much output they are producing. And then, knowing this information, they would then respond by adjusting their own decisions in order to maximize their own profits. So the products of these firms may be either homogeneous or they may be heterogeneous. In economics, we analyze the firm's strategic behavior in what we call game theory. Now, game theory is a huge topic in itself, so I shall wait to introduce you to the basics of this topic in the next video, which is video 2. For now, let's just get to know the market structure and the characteristics of oligopolistic firms and how they might generally behave. This is an example of an oligopoly market, although the market for petrol is highly regulated by the Malaysian government. Well, if there are only two major firms in the market, then we call that a duopoly market. One firm is a monopoly, two firms is a duopoly. If there were three firms in the market, we call it a triopoly, and so on, right? So this would be a duopoly. Well, in this example, the duopoly supply close to identical goods. Here is another example of a duopoly, that is Airbus and Boeing in the commercial aircraft manufacturing industry. You can say that the products of these two firms are differentiated or heterogeneous. Now let's see what kind of outcomes could arise in an oligopoly. Now let's suppose that there are two firms, firm A and firm B, a duopoly if you will, that produce an identical product, say a certain type of sweets, and suppose also that these two firms have identical costs. These diagrams would then show the two firms' typical cost curves. And suppose that the marginal cost of production is $10 for both firms. Suppose also that firm A decides to set a price of $13 for its product. Since this price is above the marginal cost, firm A is hoping to make a supernormal profit. If the duopoly compete against each other in terms of price, then what firm B will do would be to set its own price below $13, say $12, in order to undercut firm A and hopefully steal away firm A's customers for itself. Now, firm A would observe this and respond by setting a price that is below $12, say $11, in order to undercut firm B back and steal away firm B's customers. So in this case, firm B will then respond by lowering its price to, say, $10. So what price will firm A charge now? Would firm A set a price of $9? Well, the answer is no, because a price of $9 would mean that the firm's marginal benefit will be less than the marginal cost. It is not rational to produce and sell a unit of the good where the price is less than the marginal cost of production. And so firm A would set a price of $10 as well. By the same reasoning, firm B would also be unable to lower its price below $10. Therefore, in the end, due to price competition, both firms charge a price of $10, which is equal to their marginal cost. P is equal to MC. So we can see that when firms compete in terms of price, this could lead to a price war, which would eventually lead to marginal cost pricing. Marginal cost pricing means setting the price equal to the marginal cost. So when P is equal to MC, the firm will make only normal profits. In other words, the firm will just break even. Alternatively, both firms know that their competitor will try to undercut prices when given the opportunity. And so, to prevent price undercutting in the first place, each firm might already set its price equal to the marginal cost right from the beginning. This outcome is the same as what would happen in a perfectly competitive market. Here is the diagram that illustrates the identical firms making normal profits only. But the two firms may eventually realize that making normal profits only is not the only possible outcome in an oligopoly market, that they might be able to get supernormal profits actually. For instance, it is possible that the two firms may decide to collude with each other, in other words, cooperate with each other. They might collude by setting a price that is higher than their marginal cost. So when the price is higher than their marginal cost, then the firms can finally get some supernormal profit. An example of a collusion is OPEC, the famous oil cartel made up of many countries that produce and export oil. OPEC stands for the Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries, OPEC. The problem is that the collusion might not be successful, or the collusion might not be sustainable. In some countries, there are laws against collusion, called antitrust laws. In many cases, the collusion breaks down because cartel members argue with each other about their share of the profits. Very importantly, there is an incentive for a cartel member to cheat on the agreement, for example, by charging a lower price secretly so that it can steal some customers away from its competitors. Anyway, if the two firms collude with each other and then split the profits between them, the market outcome could be the same as that of a monopoly. In this case, the supernormal profits would be maximized. The two firms could collude and act as if they were one unified firm, and therefore they would be able to enjoy monopoly profits. So, we have discussed the two extreme outcomes that are possible for an oligopoly market. Of course, the actual outcome could be anywhere between the two extremes, the competitive extreme or the monopoly extreme. Right? The general conclusion here is that the lower the quantity of output produced in the industry, then the higher would be the price, and it will be getting closer and closer to the monopoly price. The higher the quantity of output produced in the industry, then the lower would be the price, getting closer to the competitive price. We already know from a previous lecture that the competitive quantity is socially efficient, and therefore, if the market quantity is below this optimal quantity, there would be deadweight loss. So, in summary, where oligopoly firms are concerned, there is a conflict or there is a tension between whether to cooperate or to act in self-interest. Should the firms cooperate with each other and enjoy higher profits? Or Should the firms look after their own profits, their own self-interest instead? Because there is an incentive to cheat on a collusive agreement, so why bother? Right? So economists do not have the answer to that question because it is the firm's own decision to make. So I will end this video here, and I will see you in the next video on game theory. So bye for now.